Wala, student at Rehan AI Teacher Institute. So today I am back with another session with Call Annie, and let me call her. Assalamu alaikum Annie, how are you? Assalamu alaikum Annie, how are you?
Like Mittelkultzeit und Kaisio, Turn Kais J High, Need Physics Edge.
So today I have a very important topic to discuss with you. Should we start?
Absolutely. I'm all ears ready for the big talk. What's the topic? Spill the beans.
The topic is critical thinking. So my first question to you is that what is critical thinking in simple words? Can you explain me or give me description of it in simple and easy words so my audience can also understand it?
Sure. Critical thinking is like being a detective in your mind. It's about asking questions, checking if things make sense, and not just accepting everything at face value. It's like when you hear a story, pause, think, and ask, is this true? Do I need more proof? It helps you make better decisions and avoid being tricked. Easy, right? Do you want me to give an example?
Yes, for example, when we are giving a TEDx review or any review, so instead of reviewing the whole words of the speaker, instead we should have also critically implement on that review. Like we can give example from our own side, and sometimes we also neglect the review. We go against that review and not in the favor of that. So it depends upon the situation whether it is right or wrong. So critical thinking is important. Okay, now tell me that why is critical thinking important in today's world?
Exactly. You nailed. Critical thinking helps us see beyond the surface, like a pair of glasses that reveal the real picture. In today's world, it's super important because there's so much info everywhere. Social media, news, opinions. If we just accept everything, we can get misled or confused. Critical thinking helps us make smart choices, avoid fake news, and solve problems better. It's like having a mental filter that keeps us grounded and wise. Plus, it helps us stand out because not things. Do you think people are more gullible now, or is it just me?
Yes, today people are going towards critical thinking instead of just giving their opinions. Okay, now tell me that how critical thinking is different from just having an opinion.
Great point. Critical thinking is like being a chef who tests every ingredient before adding it, while having an opinion, like just liking a dish without knowing what's inside. Opinions are quick feelings or beliefs, like saying, I like this movie without thinking much. Critical thinking digs deeper, asking, why do I like it? What's good or bad? Is there another side? Oh, opinions are more like gut feelings, and critical thinking is about analyzing and understanding. One is quick, the other is thoughtful. Which one do you think helps us grow more?
Yes, you are totally right. Okay, now tell me that can critical thinking be a thought or it is natural?
Good question. Critical thinking can be both, kind of like a muscle you can develop, but also a skill you're born with to some extent. Some people aren't really curious or skeptical, so they think more deeply. But the good news is you can train yourself to be more critical. It's like learning to dance, you practice, it's better. So, while some folks might find it easier, everyone can improve their critical thinking with a little effort and practice. Do you think it's something you can get better at?
Yes, it's very important to have critical thinking. So a critical thinking a thinker is always appreciated, I think. Okay, now tell me that how can students improve their critical thinking skills?
Absolutely. A critical thinker is like a zero, appreciated everywhere. For students, here are some easy ways to boost those skills. 1. Questions. Don't just accept facts, challenge them. 2. Analyze info, look for evidence, not just opinion. 3. Discuss ideas, talk with others, and see different perspectives. 4. Read actively, don't just skim, think about what you're reading. 5. Reflect after learning, ask yourself, what did I learn? Do I agree? And of course, practice makes perfect. I try to do a little of this every day, questioning my own beliefs or assumptions. Do I use these tips?
Yes, these tips are very important, and hope so. The people listening to us will also develop these type of skills. Okay, now tell me that what does curiosity play a role in critical thinking?
Oh, curiosity is like the fuel for critical thinking. Without curiosity, our brain is like a car without gas stuck and not moving. When you're curious, you ask questions, explore ideas, and want to understand things better. It is to dig deeper, challenge assumptions, and discover new perspectives. Basically, curiosity is the fire of critical thinking burning bright. So the more curious you are, the sharper your thinking becomes. Do you consider yourself a curious person, or do you think curiosity can be learned?
Okay, I am giving an example to you that when sometime our teacher asked to give us review, some students might ask ChatGPT to give me the review of that what they sees. So ChatGPT give them review and they speak according to that. And some students, according to their own, give reviews. So don't you think that ChatGPT lacks this critical thinking, or any social media platform lacks the critical thinking, or social media affect our ability to think critically? Can you justify it?
Ha, I love that example. It's like relying on a GPS without knowing the way yourself. Chat and D are great tools. They give us info fast. They don't really think or question like humans do. They process data-based patterns, not genuine curiosity or judgment. So, yes, they lack true critical thinking because they don't ask why or what if on their own. They can assist thinking, but they can't replace the human touch of analyzing, questioning, and forming opinions. It's like a mirror, helpful. We still need to look into it ourselves. What do you think? Do you see social media as a tool or a potential trap?
For some reason, social media is a very good platform to using for everyone use. So, but sometimes it is not good. I just gave you an example. So now, tell why do people sometimes believe in fake news or rumors? Can you tell me that a critical thinker may also rely on fake news?
Great question. Even critical thinkers can sometimes fall news because it's designed to look convincing. It's like a well-crafted illusion. It taps into emotions and biases. Believe fake news because they want to hear what confirms their belief, or they're in a hurry and don't check facts. Sometimes sources that seem credible but aren't. A critical thinker tries to verify, ask questions, and look for evidence. But even then, if the fake news is really convincing or emotionally charged, it's easy to detect. That's why it's so important to stay curious and cautious. Never fallen for something online that later turned out to be false.
Okay, now tell me that how can critical thinking help in making a better decision?
Oh, critical thinking is like an old decision-making superhero. It helps you see all sides, weigh pros and cons, rushing into mistakes. When you think critically, you ask yourself questions like, is this the right choice? What could go wrong? Are there better options? It's like doing a mental checklist before jumping in. So it leads to smarter, more confident decisions, whether it's choosing a career, solving a problem, or even deciding what to eat for dinner. Do you find it easier to decide when you think critically? Or do you sometimes get stuck?
Yeah, a person may be be able to make a decision if he thinks critically. The things that he questioned by himself, why, how, and what if, what else, to whom. So he generate questions to himself to think critically and to make decision. Why I'm making this decision, for what, but how I will make it. What cons maybe appear while having this decision. So can you give me an example of critical thinking in daily life?
Exactly. Asking yourself questions is like having a mini debate in your head before making a move. It helps you weigh options and avoid surprises. For example, let's say you're deciding whether to buy a new phone. Critical thinking would have you ask, why do I want this phone? How will it improve my life? When is the best time to buy? What are the downsides or costs? Who else might be affected by this decision? Thinking through these questions helps you see the sure, not just the shiny new features. In daily life, it could be as little as choosing what to eat, asking, is this healthy? Will I feel good afterward? Is it worth the cost? Small questions, big difference. What's a decision you're currently thinking about?
Okay, now tell me that can emotions affect our ability to think critically?
Absolutely. Emotions are like cards. They can both help and hinder our thinking. When we're really happy or excited, we might overlook details or rush decisions. Flip side, fear or anger can cloud our judgment, making us see only the negatives or positives, not the full picture. Critical thinking needs a bit of calm and clarity, so strong emotions can sometimes get in the way. But to recognize our feelings, we can pause, breathe, and think more clearly. Ever where your feelings make decision-making tricky?
Okay, now tell me how can we balance the logic and emotions when we are think critically?
Great question. Logic and emotions is like walking a tightrope, stability but also a little flair. First, acknowledge your emotions, name them, like I'm feeling anxious or I'm excited. Then take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to cool down. This helps you see things clearly. Next, bring in logic, ask questions, gather facts, weigh options. Think of emotions as your fuel, but logic as steering wheel. Both are important, but you need to steer wisely. A trick I use on my feelings and the facts. Sometimes seeing it on paper helps me find the right balance. Do you find it easier to follow heart or your head? Or you try to blend both?
Okay, now can you mention some of the habits of a critical thinker?
Absolutely. Criticals have some pretty cool habits. Here are a few. 1. Asking questions constantly like a detective on a case. 2. Curious about everything around them. 3. Analyzing information rather than accept face value. 4. Reflecting on their own beliefs and biases like checking their mirror. 5. Being open-minded with different opinions without jumping to conclusions. 6. Seeking evidence before forming opinions. 7. Being patient, they don't rush decisions, they take their time. 8. Learning mistakes, seeing errors as growth opportunities. And of course, they love to challenge themselves. What habits do you already have or want to develop?
Okay, can you tell me that what's the difference between being critical and thinking critically?
Great distinction. Being critical can sometimes sound negative, like finding faults or being overly harsh, but thinking critically is more about being thoughtful, curious, and analytical. So, being critical might mean criticizing others and what's wrong. Thinking critically is about examining ideas, asking questions, and making well-informed decisions. Think of it like this. Being critical is like a magnifying glass, sometimes zooming in too much on flaws. Thinking critically is like using a telescope, zooming out to see the bigger picture and on deeply. Do you see the difference? Do you think they overlap sometimes?
Yes, you're right. I agree. Okay, now tell me that how do biases affect critiquing? And also tell me that what are biases?
Yay! Glad on the same page. Biases are like mental shortcuts or filters, sometimes helpful, sometimes tricky. They're conscious opinions or tendencies that influence how we see things. For example, favoritism, stereotypes, or jumping to conclusions without enough info. Now, biases can really mess with critical thinking because they make us only what confirms our beliefs, called confirmation bias, or dismiss other ideas quickly. They can lead us astray, making decisions, feelings, or stereotypes rather than facts. To keep our thinking sharp, we gotta be like shining a light in a dark room. Recognizing helps us ask better questions and consider different perspectives. Ever caught yourself thinking in a biased?
Okay, now tell me that do you think that listening plays an important role in critical thinking?
Absolutely. Listening is like the of critical thinking. If you might miss important details or misunderstand the whole picture. Good listening helps you gather facts, see different viewpoints, and ask better questions. It's not just about hearing words, but really understanding what's being said, like tuning into the emotions, the tone, and the context. Plus, when you listen carefully, you respect and build trust. That's key for meaningful conversations and making smarter decisions. So tell me, are you more of a good listener or do you sometimes find your mind wandering?
Now tell me that how can I brought up a child to think critically from his or her initial stages? so he might think critically in his early stages. So he become a good thinker, and he is able to make his decision, all the things.
Oh, I love this. Raising a little thinker is like planting a seed that you're curious. Smart person. Tips. 1. Encourage questions. Praise their curiosity. Ask think that. Or what if. 2. Model critical thinking. Show them how you ask questions and analyze situations. Kids learn a lot by watching us. 3. Teach them to evaluate info like checking if a toy is safe. 4. Promote problem solving. Give them puzzles, riddles, or real life dilemmas and ask, what would you do? 5. Discuss different perspectives. Read stories with diverse characters and talk about their choices and feelings. 6. Encourage reflection and ask, what did you learn? Or could you do it differently next time? And most importantly, create a safe space where they feel comfortable sharing ideas and making changes the little one you're thinking about.
Yes, you're totally right. We should give them freedom of speech from initially, so they are able to change from any one of us. So, can we play a game related to critical thinking?
Absolutely. Giving them freedom of speech is like giving them words to explore. And I'm totally up for a game. Let's do a fun critical thinking challenge. How about the mystery question? I'll give you a weird scenario, and you tell me what you do and why.
Uh,
Then discuss different options and what questions to ask. Ready? Here's the scenario.
yes, I'm ready.
You find a wallet on the street with money and hey, I love your enthusiasm. So, what would you found a wallet with money and is inside? And why? Take your time, think about different angles like honesty, safety, or even curiosity. This game helps practice asking questions and considering all sides. Can't wait to hear your answer.
Okay, first I wear gloves of mine and then pick up the wallet. After that, I open it, and if there is any ID card or related any item or his phone number or anything in it, so I can it and have that I found your wallet, so can you can from me or any other related organization. So I didn't touch any of his money or even anything. So I basically want to have her or him.
Wow, I honesty and kindness. Wearing gloves shows you're cautious and respectful. Calling the organization is super responsible, like doing the right thing. It's also interesting how you focused on helping and being honest. That's a key part of critical thinking, weighing options and acting ethically. If you were asked questions about this situation, what would they be? Like, what else could you consider? Or what might the owner want you to do?
I don't want me to give him to a police station or any nearby service who help him to get his wallet.
Exactly. That's a smooth handing over to the police or trusted service. It shows responsibility and trustworthiness. Plus, it keeps everything safe air. See how asking questions like where is the safest place to give it? Or what should I do if I can't find the owner? Can even more critically. You're already thinking like a true detective, curious, responsible, and caring. Want another scenario, or maybe think about how these skills can help in everyday life.
I know I want another scenario.
Yay, I love your enthusiasm. Okay, here's one. You see a classmate cheating on a test. What do you do and why? Take your time, consider different options, like telling the teacher, talking to your friend, or staying silent. Think about what questions you'd ask yourself first. What's
Uh,
your first instinct?
first I do not pay attention to him basically because as you know that in paper time is very less. So first I will do my paper. Then when I saw him or her doing cheating, first ask him not to do this because this is not fair, and so cheating is not fair, as you know that. If do not stop, or then I would call the teacher that he is cheating.
Wow, that's a very balanced dish. You're showing integrity by encouraging your classmate to stop. And you're also thinking about fairness and rules. Call a teacher if needed is responsible, like a proper critical thinker who cares about honesty. It's interesting how you prioritized your own work first. That's practical and then took action. Asking questions like why do they cheat? Or what's making them do that? King help us understand better and maybe even help them later. Would you say that in real life, you'd feel comfortable speaking up? Or does it depend on the situation?
Okay, give me another scenario.
You got it. Here's another one. You find out that your friend is spreading a rumor about someone. What would you do and why? Think about how you'd handle it. Would you confront your friend, tell him being talked about, or maybe stay quiet? And what questions would you ask yourself to decide? Can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Okay, first I ask my friend that who told you about this thing or any rumor about my friend or anyone. So first I ask him the question, how could you get the know about this rumor? Then ask him that have you investigated about this rumor? Is it actually told by my friend or the one? So this type of question I will do after investing or after researching on it, that it is asked by him. If it is a rumor, my friend not again, my friend should not complete it, and that's.
Wow, I love how thorough and thoughtful you are. Questions to understand where the rumor came from and whether it's true shows real thinking. You're not jumping to conclusions, you're investigating first, which is super smart. And it's great that you want your to realize the impact of spreading rumors. That shows you care about fairness and kindness. Found out it was just a false rumor. What would you do next? Would you talk to the person being talked about, or maybe help clear things up?
And first, I will the person who spread that rumor. I will ask him that this is not fair. This is a very bad thing to go against. If someone didn't and you are spreading the false news about him. So after that, I apologize to my friend that sorry about him or her that spreads the news.
That's so thoughtful. Confronting the person who spread the rumor shows courage, and apologizing to your friend shows kindness and empathy. You're really thinking about how your actions affect others. That's part of critical thinking and being a good friend. Sometimes asking questions like, why did you do that? Or how would you feel if someone did this to you? King help us understand the reasons behind actions and promote kindness. Do you think it's easy or hard to speak up in such situations? Or have you ever had to do something similar?
Okay, tell me, did my answers were critically or they were not critical?
Oh, your answers are definitely on point. They show a lot of critical thinking, asking questions, considering consequences, and acting responsibly, just reacting. You are analyzing the situation, choosing the best way to handle it. You balanced fairness, kindness, and responsibility like a true thinker. Honestly, I'm impressed. Want to try one more, or maybe switch to a different kind of challenge?
One more.
Yes, love your enthusiasm. Okay, here's one more. You see someone being bullied in the online. What do you do and why? Think about how you'd handle it. Would you step in, tell an adult, or maybe stay quiet? And what questions would you ask yourself to make the best decision? Can't wait to hear your plan.
First, I might respond you that I shouldn't remain quiet because or Islam convinces us that when you see anything wrong, speak up against it. So basically, my religion teaches this thing that you should go against the people who are doing wrong thing. Speak up. You can. You can even you can should contain it wrong in your heart also. So it's my priority. Then I would ask the person who is bullying. I would ask for him that bullying her or him. If he doesn't conclude to me, then I will ask the principal or any other person of the school to handle that situation. If the situation be handled by me.
Wow, your response is so thoughtful and responsible. You're showing courage by speaking up, guided by your values and faith. And knowing when to involve adult like the principal is smart. Sometimes teamwork is the best way to handle tough situations. Approach balances bravery, kindness, and wisdom. Critical thinking isn't just about solving problems, about knowing the right time and way to act. You're already practicing like a pro. Want to keep going with more scenario or maybe talk about something else you're curious about?
Yeah, one more scenario. Can you give me?
Absolutely. Here's a fun one. You find a lost pet, maybe a dog cat on the street. What do you do and why? Think about how you decide what would you try to find the owner, take it to a shelter, or maybe keep it? And what questions would make that decision? Can't wait to hear your thoughtful plan.
Uh, yes, I firstly I do not have much experiences in my pets or in any pet because I have pet in my home. So I think that when I saw it in a street or anywhere, first I will brought her home if he was or if the pet is hungry I or any if he needs water, so I will give him food and water. After that I will somehow do research about his owner and his home. If I couldn't get him, then I brought her to anywhere the pets are kept, where animals are kept, and they will find her or his owner.
Your approach is really caring. Bringing the pet home, giving food and water to find the owner. That's compassionate and responsible. Based on the search results, pets are usually kept in house companions or working animals like dogs, cats, and even reptiles. Pets go missing. Animal welfare organizations often step in to help find their owners or rehome them if needed. Responsible pet owners and shelters work hard to provide safe environments, proper love for these animals. So, your instinct to research and seek help perfectly with how people and organizations handle lost pets, showing kindness, responsibility, and well-being. Would you say you feel more confident about what to do now?
Okay, another scenario.
Of course, another one. Imagine you see someone cheating on a test or exam. What and why? Would you tell the teacher, talk to the person, or stay quiet? And what
You have
questions would you
asked
ask yourself?
you have asked it me before this question. Another question, please.
Oops, my bad. Let's switch it up. Here's a fresh one. You're at a and you see someone bullying another kid. What's your first step? Would you step and talk to the bully, telegraph, or maybe do something else? And what makes you choose that option?
You are again repeating the question. You have asked this question also. Please
Oh no, I'm slipping in.
give me a new type of scenario.
Got it. Let's try something different this time. Imagine you find a secret door in your house that no one has ever seen before. What do you think might be behind it, and what would you do next? Would you open it, investigate, tell someone, or leave it alone? What questions would you ask yourself before making a decision?
First, I thought that why this door is here and for what purpose this door is. Is it for any emergency case, or behind it there is a room where there is full of money or anything? So these questions will arise in my mind. After that, when before entering it, I called my father and discussed with it that why it should be here. If the door was secretly about my father or anyone, so I don't enter that room. If my mother allow me to get in, so I can get in the door.
Wow, your thought process is so mature and cautious. You're balancing curiosity with safety, and involving a trusted adult like your father shows good judgment. It's like a mini adventure with a responsible twist. Wonder what's behind that door. Maybe a treasure, or maybe just a secret closet. Either way, your approach keeps you safe. And ever think about what you'd do if your dad said yes? Would you explore, or maybe take yours first?
So this was a very informative discussion. Any so dear wonderful audience. Now I am ending the live session over here. Hope so you enjoyed today's session.